Hi, I'm Alexandra Van Heulen. I'm the founder of Lead3. My ambition with this video series, Leading Through Uncertain Times, is to bring you authentic and inspiring stories and insights from leaders and entrepreneurs who are currently leading in the context of the COVID-19 crisis. Today, I'm talking to Luc Imberechts, the president and owner of Bakon US Food Equipment, a leading international company created in 1991 and located in Los Angeles. Bakon USA is a manufacturer and distribution company specialized in bakery equipment for the bakery, pastry, and chocolate industry. Luc, welcome. I'm very pleased to be here with you. Thank you for having accepted my invitation.
Well, thanks for having me, Alexandra. It's a pleasure to be here.
Luc, tell me, what has been the impact for you of this COVID-19 crisis for you as a man, as a father, and as a leader?
Well, first of all, I think we realize the importance of this crisis and the impact it has on people. So probably my first thoughts are for all the people who are suffering from this situation. As a human, I would say, we are of course facing a crisis. So this is a time where I think as a father, businessman, owner of a company, yeah, it's important to lead and to keep leading. So as far as we are concerned, what we have seen happening very, very quickly, in fact, was the complete silence of our phone lines. Suddenly it was very difficult to reach our customers. The first 2 weeks of the crisis happened extremely fast, although we are probably here in the States following. What I mean by that is that we saw the situation developing in Asia, and we still had the feeling it was still far away from us. And then suddenly we saw the dramatic increase of cases in Europe. And before we knew it, it was on the East Coast and then coming all the way to the West Coast, of course. Here in California, if you purely look at the numbers, we have been rather protected. I think we are benefiting from a good leadership and local leadership and a very good reaction, a very prompt reaction of the population in terms of the lockdown. So as a company, what we have done, we act extremely fast. We closed the company for 1 day to get organized, basically. We decided that the people who could work remotely would do that. So basically we moved those people out of the premises. We sent them with their equipment, basically, with a key action is, our key mission is to be in touch with our customers. And then we split the crew. We split our team in 2 crews, a morning crew and an afternoon crew. And we made sure that those 2 crews have no contact together to try, in case of any person getting sick, to try to avoid any contamination of the complete crew. No, that being said, it's a challenging way of working. People are either far away, they are working remotely, but we have been able, by doing that, to respect some of the sanitation policies that we have put in place from the very beginning. So we are now here, as far as we are concerned, entering our 6th week of lockdown. We are regarded as an essential business because we support the food industry. So we are open as a business. We had 2 priorities, and we still have those 2 same priorities. The very first one being to ensure the health and the well-being of our employees. And the second priority, to make sure that we don't interrupt the service towards our customers. So we are here to help them in terms of parts, in terms of new equipment, although you can realize that in a time of crisis, people are not really making a lot of investment, but we see some activity, and that's basically the positive side of it.
Look, in these times of uncertainties, how are you leading your teams and the organization? You have been mentioning a few points. Can you further highlight how you are leading currently in this context?
Thanks for the question. I think it's a very good question. Now, I had the chance of being trained as an officer in the Belgian army years ago. And I had the chance to serve as an officer in the armored infantry, mechanized infantry in Belgium. So I'm tapping, of course, on that knowledge to lead the team. This is a period of crisis very similar to basically a period of war, where as a leader, your team is looking at you and expecting to have some very clear direction. So what I did, I used a technique that is very popular in the army, and it's to develop an acronym. So I developed an acronym around the word CORRONAH, because it's easy to remember. An acronym is typically a good technique to help people to put their brain or wrap their brain around the complex situation. And so in our case, the acronym is CORRONAH, like I was saying, and we spell it with we have a fresh approach to the spelling, because we always like to put a little twist on what we do. And because our company is regarded as a partner in the freshness of food, you see, that's how we organize our offering. So basically, CORRONAH stands for the following. C is for communication. The first O is for optimism. The first R, because we spell it with 2 R, is for reduce. The second R is reality. Then the O is for objectives. After that, we have N for novation. Some could say innovation. Then we have A for accountability. And then at the very end, there is a little H that we have added for humility. C, communication, first letter, most important priority is communication. So we have put in place, of course, very quickly, a system of texting between the employees. We have boards also here that we are using to communicate information. We are using all the tools that are available today, and I think it's amazing to see what is available in terms of technology. So we definitely want to tap on that. So communication, I would say quality communication, we insist on that, and also the frequency of the communication. So we now have our monthly meeting, management meeting became a weekly management meeting. I personally send a note to all the employees, a text to all the employees over the weekend with a quick summary of the past week and what they can expect for the coming days, and some specific instructions when needed. So not only do we insist on a quality communication and a frequent communication within the team, I have asked all the managers to contact all their employees on a daily basis by phone. I want them to hear their voice and to get a feedback. In that case, the text is not enough. And apart from the communication within our organization, we have increased the frequency of our communication with our customers, but also with our vendors. As you can understand, I think the key at this time is a management of cash flow also. With reduced sales, you have a different reality that shows up. So it is very important also to involve the vendors in that overall effort. The second word, optimism. Well, in a period of crisis, that's when we need to shine. I think a leader has no choice. And we need to make sure that every person in the organization is part of that effort. I welcome people who have a sense of humor, and I definitely welcome positive comments. We have had some negative comments, and we try to address those because it is time for everybody to help in that positive effort. This is a sign of respect also towards all the people who are on the front line, working hard in hospitals, in the food industry in general, to feed people. And in fact, there are a lot of unknown heroes in this crisis. And I think to be optimist is a quality that all of us need to develop, to show in respect, and as a way of saying thank you to all those people who are taking real risk with their own life to help all of us. The next word is reduce. Well, reduce, why? Because everything is suddenly reduced. I think the timeline ahead of us, it's important to reduce that timeline. We take it day by day. Personally, first thing I think of when I wake up in the morning is the family dinner that we will have together with our kids in the evening. And I'm glad to, I love cooking, so I'm glad to participating in planning the meals and in preparing those meals. And I will be honest with you, that's my daily motivation. It's the dinner. Preparing the dinner, participating to the dinner, and communicating during the dinner. So as a company, I mean, yes, we have seen reduced sales, so it's very important to, as any manager do, but it's very important to develop a few new budgets, see how we can reduce our own expenses. In the army, when you prepare yourself mentally about the idea of being a prisoner, you realize that what you are going to control is extremely limited. It could be just the real estate that you control, you know, the physical space. So it's very important to reduce what you are trying to impact. Otherwise, you can create some serious frustrations that are difficult to manage, I believe. The next R is for reality. Before being able to develop plan and action plans, it's extremely important to look at the facts. Those are those are changing extremely fast. So we need to be able all the time to look at that reality and at that new reality and react to that. I think that's extremely important. So in this case, rumors are not welcome, and we make sure that everybody stay and share the facts and stay on the facts. The next letter for us is objectives. It's linked to what I was just saying. Based on those new realities, we develop new objectives. Those are changing constantly. I think it's a good way of keeping the whole team engaged. Also the people who work remotely. We have task lists that we had developed already before the crisis. So we have a fresh approach to those task lists, and people are welcome to give us some new ideas that we put on those task lists. And like that, we are able to, I would say, feed the team with new objectives that are ever changing and that we want to execute, and we want to execute extremely well. The next point is innovation, and I know you and me, we had a few opportunities to talk about how some people take this opportunity to basically develop a new contract with life or with their own priorities, and that's the idea of innovation. Although I don't think it's the right time to change your long-term objectives. I think it would be a big mistake to try in a period of crisis to change your objective. I think it reinforced the priorities, and that's really the idea of innovation. Innovation also, I mean, we have taken this period of, I would say, different way of working to put the pedal to the metal on some development of new products and running some tests that otherwise we have a tough time to find time to run. So this is the perfect opportunity to do this. Then we have the letter A for accountability. More than ever, people are accountable, and they are held accountable. This is not a time for people to second guess. This is not a time for people to question priorities. I'm not welcoming backseat drivers for the moment. I need people to be in the front seat, in their driving seat, and basically to execute. This is what makes the difference. And I believe this is what makes a successful organization. Not so much the plan, but the execution. And then finally, we have add a little letter, like I was saying, the little H. And that H is for humility. I think none of us know what we are really facing. none of us know when we will come out of this and how. And I think there is nothing wrong about saying that. And as a parent, I think it is a very important aspect of parenting. With my wife, we have had no problem to tell our boys that this is completely new to us. And we need their help and their full contribution to find a solution and to get out of this the best we can. So that's basically the what is behind the acronym that we developed for our team, and to which we refer all the time on a daily basis in the different actions that we are taking. Again, one, to ensure the health of our team, and secondly, to serve our customers the best we can.
Can you tell me what are the positive dimensions and opportunities you see in the current situation?
Well, I think the period of crisis, people go back to the basics, and I think that's where you see people are really caring. I'm extremely impressed by the way worldwide, by the way the population has reacted to this crisis, and basically react in a very disciplined way to a completely new situation. I think if you would have asked me if people would agree on a lockdown before this happened, I would have said there is no way. And overall, I think people are showing a lot of self-discipline and a lot of positivism. We see everyday initiative of people, asking other people how they are doing, and really making sure to take a second take to make sure that they are really doing well. We ask people, do you need anything? And we share, here we developed, at the very beginning of the crisis, we developed a pantry just to make sure that people would be able to basically satisfy their family needs. We had toilet paper in our pantry. We had rice in our pantry, cash in some situation. And I think it's extremely important, and it's the same situation with our neighbors. So what you see, I think, is the positive of the human being. I think people really care, people show love, and I think that's the positive I want to focus on.
Yeah, so I hear the mention of solidarity and love and caring. As in conclusion, what are for you your key insights that you want to share with the leaders and entrepreneurs that are watching us today?
I had the chance to grow up with my grandfather, and my grandfather was an amazing person. And my grandfather would always say, you need to help when people need help, not when it's convenient to you. And I think this is my insight. I think what we have to realize is that we are here to help, and we'll get out of this. People in the food industry are extremely creative people, and they are also hardworking people. So I have a full confidence and faith in the chance of recovery. It will take time, there is no doubt. In a few days, we have a customer bringing us some products because all their stores are closed. They have 5 stores. Their stores are completely closed. Their main production was, of course, caught off guard. So basically, they have large cakes that they are not able to, they are frozen, and they are not able to basically give those cakes away because nobody could eat such big cakes. They are producing big baking sheets. So we have a machine here, an ultrasonic cutter, that allows us to cut in small portions very fast. So at the end of the week, we are going to cut thousands of little portions that will later be distributed to hospitals, schools, fire stations, food banks. And I think this is just one of the numerous examples of what people do and can do, and how people want to help one another. And I think that's great.
Thank you so much for his key insight, Luc. Thank you so much for his very inspiring sharing. I very much enjoyed his time with you. And I really wish you all the best.